resolution drafted up for the specification to put in a cattle guard.
This is the one you talked about us last time?
Yes.
Did they agree to put them where you wanted them?
I'm sorry?
Did they agree to put them where you wanted them?
Yeah.
So that fence will be over on their side?
Well, he said he wants to put it on that south side, and if there's any correction to that, if there's any problem, he'd have to move his fence. So that's between them,
Between the landowners.
yeah. So. And it's quite possible where that individual, owned all that, maybe all the road was on him too. I mean, I can't argue that point, so. We did that one
The
other
other
time.
landowner agreed to it?
I told him he needs to check with him, yes.
Good. Who's the Cheyenne County Highway Department? Is
Huh?
that
They
basically
don't check
you?
with them.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I've never
That's
known
between
that.
you and
Right.
So I'm glad you asked that.
We don't have a resolution number, do we?
I'm sorry?
You'll have to get us a resolution number.
Oh, yes, correct.
I personally don't know anything about cattle guards, so I'd have to go with what.
Basically, what the resolution is proposing is that if there is a landowner that wants to put in a cattle guard,
Yeah, I understand all
right,
that part.
right, on a public road, they first have to come up with a proposed plan, then approach Road and Bridge with that plan. Road and Bridge goes out and inspects where they are proposing that this be installed. And if it meets the requirements as found in that, in the resolution, then Road and Bridge comes to the commissioners to get approval for that to be installed. The installation, maintenance, liability, that's all on the landowner.
Okay. You say we need a resolution number for that?
2103.
2103. I make a motion that we approve Resolution 2103 for cattle guard construction.
Second?
First and second, and all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carry.
103.
You'll need to sign those. Or did you? No, we'll need to sign.
Did you ever hear that story about, she was a senator, it was a lady senator from some city in Wyoming, like, big,
Hey, Greg,
and they were
maintain it. Spend all that money on
spending
it.
all that money on
Paying them
cattle
cattle
guards,
guards.
paying those cattle guards. Why would you pay those guys to guard cattle?
What?
It was a while ago, yeah.
She was mad that the state was paying cattle guards. We shouldn't have to pay cattle guards to guard other people's cattle.
Didn't know the interpretation of that.
Oh, my
Thought
goodness.
they paid, they brought in a report, there was 10,000 cattle guards in the state of
10,000
Wyoming.
cattle guards, well, we don't need no 10,000 cattle guards. That was in like a lot of the ranch magazines and stuff about
Yeah,
Do you need a copy of this?
yeah, I need a copy of this. Winner.
Well, Craig, I guess you are,
Thank you.
we're ready for you.
Okay. Only thing I just wanted to give you an update on the carnival. We're planning on having a carnival. I can't guarantee it's gonna be a full carnival, but there will be a carnival. Every year on the rides, we have to do more testing. The regulations are getting to be ridiculous on it. So we have a lot of stuff that we've got to upgrade, but we're doing the best that we can, and we will have a carnival. The only other thing is that if you need to talk to somebody, Bill Ehrman is the president, and that will be the contact person. I mean, you can talk to any of us, there's just the three of us, but he's the big cheese, so that'd be the one that you need to talk to, if you need to talk to him.
Those rides are probably getting pretty old by now, aren't they?
Oh, they was old when we bought them, but they're in good shape. We have them NDT tested, which is non-destructive testing. We have to have an outfit out of Denver come down and they x-ray them and they magnaflux them to make sure that everything's sound. But as far as getting anything different, I don't know that we could ever afford to do that. Them rides are thousands of dollars.
Imagine, yeah, but they are basically safe.
Oh, yeah, yeah. The only thing that we run into a problem last year was they come out with the deal where the Scrambler, which that's a one off in the northwest corner, has to be cambered. Well, they had an outfit that was coming in some of these other carnivals, and they had the equipment to do that. So we thought, well, even though we're not going to have the carnival, we'll have them check that out. Well, they had us drill holes. Well, and they told us where to drill the holes so that they could put their camera. Well, it ruined them. So now had to buy all new skins to put that goes around the whole main thing. They're made like an aircraft. They're all riveted. They're aluminum, and each skin there's 560 rivets that has to be drilled out. You have to put the other skin on and rivet it back. So we've got a lot of work to do on that. We just started on that. But we've been down there since first part of February, every Thursday night, working on it. And we'll do the best we can. That's all we can do.
Well, I for one say thanks for your hard work on that.
Absolutely.
It's going to be tough. And then the Ferris wheel, that's the same way. They have, I don't remember what they call them, but they send these bulletins out that you have to have certain things in place. Well, I think it was $17,000. You have to put hair guards on them. You have to have a double lap bar, just one bar. You have to have two of them. They have to be reupholstered with 4 inches of foam on the seat so that somebody can't slide out from underneath. Then there's got to be safety pins put in where they go onto the wheel. So it's not fun anymore. It used to be fun all we had to do was set things up and make sure everything was greased up good, but it just isn't much fun anymore. And I don't know how much longer these little carnivals are going to be able to keep going because it's just getting too expensive. Too many rules and regulations.
Do they have something like that grandfather law and other things? That, how they have like a grandfather law on certain things that...
We thought that maybe we could do that with some of them, but can't. And that's like that twister that sets down the corner. You can't get parts for it. There's only 2 of them in the United States, and we've got one. Well, it's a dead horse. We're trying to get rid of it. The brakes in the tub where they turn, they're no good. They're air brakes, and you can't get any parts for them. You can't retrofit it. You can't do anything. And as near as we figured, it would cost around $100,000 to $150,000 to bring it up to snuff. That's without the brakes. Because you have to have a net type thing in the center so people can't fall in there. It's just ridiculous. The other thing that I wanted to say was all the little carnivals canceled last year. It wasn't just us. I know that people was not happy that we didn't have a carnival, but it wasn't just us. And they're again talking about having a carnival this year. That depends on what they decide as far as this COVID deal goes. But we're planning on it. So I just thought I'd let you know, so we can kind of plan around it, but we're planning on doing as best we can.
We appreciate the report.
Yes, thank you,
Yeah,
Greg.
So I just thought I'd let you know where we're at. Okay, thanks.
Have a good day, Greg, thanks.
Thanks for all
See
you
ya.
do. It's crazy. Bank West is needing a motion to put Brett on the bank account. They need an actual motion. So we need to, you'll have to abstain, Brett, but
Well, I'll make a motion that we,
We do not want Brett on the bank account. I second that motion.
all in favor?
Nay.
All in favor? Aye.
I see what I'm saying.
Opposed? Okay, motion carried.
and then each one of you will
You better
have to
be coming
sign
back.
each page.
Just right on top anywhere?
Yeah.
Brett need to sign it?
I don't think so.
No,
I didn't need to sign it.
Yeah, you do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they need to have your signature on it.
There's two of them.
Thank you.
Yeah, for some reason they just, you being a commissioner doesn't, it's not doing it for Bank West.
Well, I see Dale about every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday over there. I could ask him why.
Should we call Jeannie in first?
Yeah, yeah.
I put the renewal of my tags in the Dropbox on March 22nd. My husband just called the treasurer's office to find out where the paperwork is, and they haven't seen it. They expire today.
Mine expires 2 more days.
Jeannie's on her way.
Thank you.
I need to go ask some questions.
Want a stick?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning, Jeannie.
How are you all?
Good, and you?
How about you?
I'm good. Hopefully this will be painless for you guys. I'm here to talk to you about my Register of Deeds Technology Fund, and I'm not sure if you guys are real up on any of that, because it really doesn't affect you until state statute says it goes over $50,000. I'm bordering very close to that amount. This is at the end of the calendar year. If it goes over $50,000, then you as commissioners, with my permission, can take that money and use it for other purposes. It's not the end of the calendar year. I do have a project in mind to do this. It's a big project. And you want a copy of this? You want anything? You want a copy?
1 minute.
As you can see, there's a state statute, Statute 28-115A, But it says at the end of the calendar year, if it goes over 50,000, then you can take that extra money. I got a kind of a bank statement from the treasurer's office. It does not show deposits, that's page 2. It doesn't show deposits that should have been made that are not on this bank statement or previous ones. So it'll show you on here that there was like $1,322 that should be added to this February bank statement. And then I put in a new public terminal as well as, I can't remember what the 355 was. So my balance, and with the March 11th deposit, we're looking at about $45,651. When I make this next deposit today, it should get really close to this $50,000. So that's where we are. This is a proposal to scan the books in my vault and digitize them with the purpose of getting them on so that they're accessible with my public terminal in my office. They will not be...
To do what?
To digitize them, to scan them, and get images of them. Number one, for preservation, because they are all microfilmed, but from what I understand from other Register of Deeds, it's not the images are not always what they should be. So this company is going to come in on site, take my books, and scan them right here in the courthouse. There'll be it'll all be in-house. The problem with this deal is it's very expensive. It's very expensive. And if you go to the first pages, it talks about what they're going to do. Page 6 shows you what they do when they first scan it, and then what your images will look like. After they clean them up. After they clean them up, you can see, and as Leslie could probably tell you, some of those are pretty faint and very hard to read. But they use a photo technology software and stuff that will enhance these and bring bring them back so that you can see them. The next page, I think. Go to 6. There you go. It's pretty cool stuff, but again, it's expensive. And I think I have the tech fund money, as you can see with my bank statement stuff, to do phase 1. And that is going to be $25,291. So that'll take it underneath that $50,000 limit, and we'll be good. However, it's not going to cover phase 2, phase 3, and phase 4, which is the rest of the books. And so when you go to the last page on here, it's going to summarize all of that. There's 2 ways to do this. And one, I can check phase 1 at the bottom down here, which is going to do record books 1887 through 1959. And I have the money to do that. And then just let it hang, until I can get more money. My hopes is that I can apply and get some of these COVID money to do this, because this goes right down the chain of not having to touch the paper copies, which I cannot sanitize.
Right.
So this works well with that project, with that money. But as of now, there's no rules or anything to finalize on what this is. So they are planning to be in Northwest Kansas. I believe Norton is going to be here at the end of April. So they were wanting me to decide what to do here, and once I click on one of these choices, it basically locks the contract in. The cost will not be any more. So I don't know how long it would take to do phase 1, phase 2, and I just talked to her on the phone this morning, and I said, it will be a long time before my tech fund can recover and cover, build back up to do phase 2, which is $32,000. So it's going to take a while. So I guess there's really nothing that you guys, I just want you to be aware of what's happening here, unless you want to hand me $100,000 to do this project.
You just got
I got added
able to
on.
sign.
Yeah.
You're on the bank account
Yeah,
now.
thanks. These COVID grants, do you have any idea of what they're going to be for?
There's,
Leslie-
new
Leslie-
money's supposed to be coming down, but
They,
I don't
both of
know.
them are on this, on the county.
Right, we're just sitting waiting.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
mean, apparently the money's supposed to be there, but they haven't come out with any direction or,
I know I was emailed wanting city contact information, so I think the cities are getting it sent direct to them, their portion of it,
but we have no guidance at this point in time, nor do we know the exact amount that we'll be getting,
Okay.
to my
but
knowledge.
it's rumored is what we had
Right.
last time, but that's just rumors.
If it was what it was last time, what would that leave? for-
500,000 for the whole county.
Okay.
But if they're doing directly to cities, it could be less, so.
Okay.
So I am prepared to do and click on stage, or phase one and get them done and get at least get my tech fund. I have the money for my tech fund. And this doesn't even include then taking these images that they've scanned and putting them in the software program. That's an extra charge on top of this. Yeah, it's a very expensive project. However, I think it's something that really we need to look at, just for the safety of our records, getting them,
So they won't be going through the books and they'll be on the computer. And,
they can go both ways.
Yeah.
Their choice, whoever comes in my office, it's their choice. But it will be available on a public terminal that they can sit down and they can research just like they can on the index books right now. And instead of going to the vault and pulling a paper copy, they can tell it to go to book and page number and it pulls it up and they just print it out.
And can they do this from their office, or do they have
No.
to come in here?
They will come in come into my office to do that. So it will not be online.
Okay.
Yes, it'll just be available
So,
technology there.
okay, when they print it up, then that'll be on a printer instead of your copy machine.
It's on a printer. I bought that's the other expense. I bought a laser printer. That's the other $355. And it sits between the two public terminals, and then they will pay 25 cents a copy.
Just like it was going through
Just like it's going through the copier. However, the only difference is that toner is now coming out of my budget instead of, through the county.
You said 25 cents a copy? Okay.
Yeah. And I have it set up so that it prints both sides of it to try to, both sides of the page,
Save on
double-sided save paper and stuff, so. That's kind of where the direction is going. I'm trying to guide it that way. And it's more, like I said, more information for you guys to be aware of what's going on here. And if you got any extra funds, I'll take them. I'll take them. But, and so when these guys know more about it, well, thanks.
Well, but the rest of the situation is that when they're doing this work, they have to have a space.
Yes, yes, and it's in this contract. This is an interesting deal. They do have to have a space. And I asked, I can't remember what page it's on, page 3. The work area, county will provide a 12 by 18 space inside the county building, near the vault, with access 24 hours per day, 7 days a week, with lighting and air and heat and on-site scanning. Well, as we all know, the space here at the courthouse is pretty tight right now, so Leslie thought that maybe, I had asked to see if I could close my office, advertise that the office would be closed so that these people could have access to my office and just stay in my office. Leslie wasn't comfortable with that, and so we're hoping, and with your permission, to put them downstairs underneath the staircase in that area down under there where 4-H has their information, kind of down, some tables down in there, underneath the stairs.
Would that
Yeah.
be the old library?
No,
Between
out in the open.
stairways.
Okay,
Out in the open.
Okay,
That
okay.
space that's right there.
gotcha.
So,
And then would you have to have a computer down there? Or what?
no, they'll bring their information and their scanners, and they'll take care of that type of stuff. It doesn't say anything in here about tables and stuff.
Oh, this is for the people that are going to do the imaging?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
So they're going to come in, and they'll be here, and just come in and get her all done and leave. So, It's a pretty cool thing. Then they go back and then they back to their offices, which they're out of Wisconsin. So by signing this multiple phase thing, we only have to have them travel expense one time. And if I sign that part of it here on the back page, they told me if I would sign stage 1, which is more than phase 1. Stage 1 means they come in and scan all the books, but they don't necessarily go back and crop them, clean them up, and all of that stuff. They just will scan them and hand me a hard drive and say, here they are.
And can they do that later?
They can. They can later, and that's what this other stage 2 is crop. So that crop them, inspect them, do all that stuff is $38,000 for all of those images.
So basically, they'd be kind of safe for now, and then you could.
Yeah, she said that they
do it
have.
later,
Yeah, she said that they have a free software. It's Google based or something that that they provide, that this company provides, that you can go in and access all of these off of this hard drive, load these images, and then access all of these. But there won't be clean images like what you see on your proposal there. They'll just be raw data, and that's it, until we pay for more to happen. So, any guidance on how I should do this? Any thoughts?
I do not have a clue.
I think the question is, when does this have to be signed? What is your deadline?
Pretty close, because they want to come at the end of April to do this. So it's pretty close. I do have I have 45,000 in there right now, so I do have the 30. I could cover the 34, so that they could come in and scan everything. But what I don't have is the extra funds to come back and clean them up and do all of that. So this is the information she gave me this morning, because I had some questions because the stage 1 and stage 2 did not match the bids that they were giving me on the previous pages. And I said, well, so tell me what's the difference on here. And this morning over the telephone, she did tell me what that means. So if I don't do stage 1 and scan all of them, then any of the other phases, they will charge me to come back travel expense from Wisconsin again, and motel and people's wages and all of that stuff to come. So
And how many people is that?
I have no idea how many they're bringing.
But if you do stage 1 and somebody wants a specific document, you can have it cleaned up for them at that time?
It sounded like through this software or access that she was going to provide, that yes.
Okay.
She said, I can go in and clean it up and whatever, but I don't know. We'll see how it goes, how slick that really is.
But stage 1 will preserve everything like it is? Okay.
They'll go through all the books, and as you can see, there's a lot of images. When I went through and looked at this stuff, just phase 1, just taking these books from the deed, and these are just the deed books. There's 38. Just in phase 1, we're going to scan the land record or the deed books. So there's 15,400 images, plus then the ones, those are the bound books. Then there's 38 ones that you can open up and take the pages out. An additional 20,900 copies. So you're looking at over 35,000 copies or images. The first phase. So
if you do stage 1, it's going to essentially leave you with around almost $15,000 that you still have in your account. Would that be
right,
accurate? Okay.
right, exactly. And that then out of those funds, then I would then pay CIC to import those images into the software program. I would still have the hard drive, but they would import it into their system.
Okay.
So it would all be in-house and not setting off to the side here. It would all come together.
So how long did it take you to get to the 50,000?
When I came Mary had done all the microfilming, so she got all the documents microfilmed, and she had depleted that back down, and I would say that cost almost probably $30,000 to do that microfilming. So I think I started around 22,000 or something like that. So I've been in 8 years, so it's been about 8 years to get that 25,000. Yeah,
We're looking at another
yeah.
6 years or so to
Yeah,
get
6 to
get
8
the
years.
38,000
Yes,
again.
yes, yes. So, like I said, any suggestions on what I do?
Well,
I think if you do stage one, that- at least you've preserved everything.
I agree.
Okay.
And then if you want to clean them up one document at a time, you
One
can.
image at a time.
Yeah. Can they, can you send the discs or whatever to them and have them clean them up, or do that?
They will keep a copy. They will
they'll-
keep a copy, she said, in their vault, so it will always,
So
be
they
there.
could clean it up and send it to you.
Right, they have a copy, and that's in here on stage 3 on that first proposal. It says down here, USB, actually it's a USB hard drive, copying, and then a shipment of it. So they keep a copy, give me a copy. Talked to Eric, and it sounds like he suggests that we, and for lack of a better word, I'm not sure, but some sort of storage, I don't know if it's a hard drive or whatever, to store these on additionally. So not only just have the copy, but put them on another larger hard drive too, so that we'll have a couple of copies of
So
them.
you have two, in
Yeah.
case something happens to them.
Exactly.
And-
2 in our county, let me say that. So,
And where do you keep the other copy?
I'm not sure. We used to have a bank account at a storage box at, I think, First National Bank, and I think Dolores gave that up a couple years ago. So I've been keeping them off-site, my copies off-site, so that in case of any disaster, that they would not all be together. But anyway, that's probably what I would do, with this hard drive that they're going to send me on here. Keep it off-site. So you guys think go with the 34,000, huh? And get it all done?
My advice.
If you feel comfortable with it. I mean,
You know,
it's your office,
I know, and I have no problem with that. After talking with her today, at first, and this is as I looked at this proposal and stuff, I just didn't, and I told her I did not want a project where everything was scanned and good. Yep, that's good. Now, how do we access the information? Don't know, because it's not cleaned up. It's not done. I said, I can't spend this kind of money and just not have a usable product at the end of the deal. So, anyway.
But another thing too is you can go ahead with this plan, and in the meantime, that COVID money may come through, and you're able to
Exactly.
go ahead and finish out.
Exactly, and that's where, once I signed this contract and check on here, it sounds like it locks in any additional stuff at the same price. So, I mean, that'll be a good thing, that you won't do that.
Is there a deadline on how long?
She didn't mention one, and it's not mentioned in this last page of this contract, any timeline
Yeah,
on that.
I'm in agreement with these guys. I think you should go ahead and do that.
Spend the money, huh?
You won't hear that very often, so.
Well, I kind of like just, we'll cover you for the rest, Jeannie.
Yeah.
But I know that that's not possible, so, anyway, we'll hope that COVID funds, come through, or if that works that way, and if not, we'll just work our way through this whole project, so. But anyway, it's going, it started.
Great.
I'll just do and you guys, if there's people here 24/7 running around downstairs,
We'll know
you'll know
why.
why now. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, see you guys.
Just an FYI, Treasurer's Office hasn't been checking the Dropbox.
Oh, boy.
Well, Roger, I guess we're ready for you. You have good news.
I got some good news.
We need
Maybe
it.
Willie's told you, our building's sold in Colby, just considered recycling. Our our building did sell in Colby. We'll close on it at the end of May.
That was pretty quick.
Yes, it
Real
was.
quick.
It scared me.
It was
Should've
actually
asked
too
more
quick.
type of deal. But we got a really good offer on it.
Good.
And so we're in the process of trying to get it cleaned out. As far as plans, JR and I and Bill went over and looked at Colby's operation yesterday on the one that we're considering doing an operation, which you guys might consider doing. I say we, you. Doing the single stream, hauling it with the trash truck to Hutchison. And we saw how they did theirs. It'd be a different setup than what we're doing. I think we've got figured out some ways of using these chemical totes to collect in that we could use them to dump into the trash truck, maybe a little better. That's the idea. I think JR's got the trash truck up to speed as far as maintenance.
Not yet.
Oh.
I mean, as soon as we do have it back, we're gonna
Okay.
go ahead and start
But,
seeing how much we can move on.
So anyhow, I don't know, maybe Willie disagrees, but I think the sooner we get on our own, the better. And quit taking stuff to Colby so that it gives them a chance to clean up a little.
Well, for one, it'll make less work on them, give them more time to clean the building and get
And they'll
the
give us a try, kind of test drive and see how things are going. I'm pretty sure that this deal will work. I gotta be honest, it's not the way I'd like to do it. But with the single stream. But right now, I don't know that there's a lot of options. I've been in discussion with, there's a new recycling organization in Great Bend that's very interested in taking our collectibles the way we do it now, separating. But we would have to haul it down there. That means we'd have to purchase a van trailer, and maybe a tractor, or if Dave's got a tractor that could pull it down there, I don't know, at the Great Bend. But, and we'd also have to build a dock. But I like that one better because it's cleaner, it's back to where we're doing it. But I don't know if I talked to the CEO Monday, and I told him I was coming to see you guys this morning, and he said, I don't think I can have anything together before then. I would like to leave that as an option. That doesn't mean we can't, if you want to go ahead and do this other one and try it and see how it works. And then get an eye. My deal is I can't get a handle on how many tons a van trailer or haul. A lot of air, boxes of plastic, cans and things like that.
If we start that deal, taking it down to Hayes, do we have to sign a contract with them for X amount of time?
Hutchison?
I mean, to Hutchison?
No.
So
No,
we just
that's
haul
not
it to
like
them,
a
and if we
contract,
don't
so
want to, we
can
don't.
Do that for a period of time. You don't even call ahead, actually. They just take it Tuesday through Thursday. And again, we're going to compact this in our truck, which is a little smaller than Colby's, just to see how many totes it takes how many we can get rid of. And then that'll give us the comparison for this other possible method of either not bailing it or, where you're just hauling the clean recyclables to this other location. But once we run that truck once, we'll have an idea of our transportation costs on that end, and we can compare that to hauling a van full of it to somewhere else at that point.
I think it might be, I tried to do figures on it and estimates, and told JR what I was thinking. He thought I was too heavy on my loads in the van trailer, which he's probably right. But you're probably still looking at 12 loads a year, either to Hutchison or to Great Bend. One thing different, you would have to purchase a van trailer. Ideally for me, I'd like to see a van trailer here and in Bird City and a dock at each place, and they load them up, and when it's full, see when it works out on a schedule to haul them down to Great Bend. But that's my wishful thing. But realistically, right now, I think probably do that. I don't know what public perception of that's gonna be for you guys? Or for the city?
And you might want to let them know on the monies that come from the building, the other equipment, what we're doing with that right now.
Yeah, I'm going to put it into a separate account, and then when everything's liquidated and we're shut down, and we've got all our expenses paid, then we'll divide that up into thirds. Right now, I'd say approximately on the sale of the building, you'll probably get about $68,000.
And we can use that towards one of the van trailers, right?
Yes. And there, we do have other equipment, we've got forklifts. The one thing, I did get talking to these people in Great Bend, I think they're interested in our big baler over there, which I thought was gonna be a kind of a white elephant for us, but there's a chance that they would be interested in it. You know, on that note, Leslie, I'm wondering, as time draws near here in a couple of months, when we go to dissolve this, now Charles Peck was on our board, and he wrote the bylaws and stuff, and I assume that everything, he'll know how to do this. You might see if there's anything that needs to be done from this side of it that you think maybe we ought to make sure of. So it may not amount to anything.
Do you have a copy of the bylaws?
You guys should have some somewhere.
Do we have the bylaws for the recycling?
They're being in the archives, they're 21 years old.
Yeah, we have those, yes.
If not, I can get you a copy if you don't have her send you a copy.
Yeah, I'll need a copy of that so I can take a look at it.
Okay. And that's nothing urgent, but I just thought maybe it might be something to think about. Like I said, I think the sooner the better.
Is that trash truck up in pretty good shape?
It's got 99,000 miles on it. It's an 04. We've only used it just to compact and haul grass ever since we started contracting that. It should be. I mean, it's a Mercedes-Benz diesel engine. There shouldn't be any reason we shouldn't be able to work with that for a while at least.
So it's just a pretty good jaunt down to,
It is, yeah, yep.
300 miles.
yeah.
The thing I like about Great Bend, it's only about 243 miles, 242.
So we could have a driver take it down and back in one day?
Yes. They say they don't wait though. That was one of the questions for Colby. They go down and they come back in a day. It's 60 miles closer, obviously. But yeah, I don't think. In fact, I think we can run over hours interstate on that, can't we? On a Class B. I think in state we can. You can run over the limited hours for CDL. Pretty sure that's right. I'll have to look at it.
That's really my question.
Yeah.
Anybody else have any question?
It'd be nice if we had vans.
I think once everything's settled out, I think you guys could afford it with what we're getting. Near as I could tell from what I called around, if you can find them, they're about $20,000 to get you a good over-the-road van. The thing I like about it, the guys down here, up here, and that bird could load it, and keep loading it, and keep their center vacant until they get a load full, and then there's still storage for about 30 units in each, and we've got about 50 units in our place up here. So there would be some, it wouldn't necessarily have to be hauled exactly at the same time. Are your drivers, are they licensed to do that? Do they have a medical card
To do what?
to haul
Class A.
that van trailer?
Yeah. All in that. Class 7 airbrakes.
And is that still something you consider?
Commissioners tell me yes or no.
Okay.
You know what? He don't care, he's leaving.
All right, I think we need to streamline, because we keep talking about a van trailer, but that's not an option at this time, right?
Correct.
All right, so what is the plan right now, and what are you asking?
Trash truck compacting is what we are doing. As soon as it's available, we're gonna compact it, take a run. That's gonna tell us what the potential quality for this van trailer is. That may be a cost issue, or it may, I don't know. It's just a matter, we have to run with what we have. We're not spending anything.
Okay, so how is this truck getting to wherever it's going?
Driver, county or city. And through insurance, we know where a county driver can be. We need to get that agreement. You have that, Scott? Did you get that information from Lila? I'll get it to you. So essentially, a county driver can drive the city truck, but they're a county employee while doing it. It's the way the insurance has to look at that. So we got that checked into. We know we can do that, but there has to be an agreement with the city and the county that they're employed by who they're employed by, even though they're driving someone else's truck.
And it is that employer's insurance that would cover?
Yes. Yep.
Okay, so that's the proposal right now.
Yes.
Okay.
And so I guess the one question we'd be asking is for permission of a county driver to drive a city truck down there, as, you know, sharing the labor to get it there. Again, this is once a month. We're not talking about putting somebody on the road, just trying to break it up a little bit.
Is this after you figure out whether it's gonna be affordable to do that?
Yes,
or-
yes, I mean, we need to do that no matter what, because even if we go with a van trailer, I don't have Class A drivers, so this needs to be something where we would share labors in transportation no matter what. That we need to know if the commissioners will do, and get that agreement in place for the insurance.
And in addition to that, I would like to add that Sunoco will take our baled cardboard and baled chipboard and pick it up. They will come up and pick it up and give us $30 less a ton than the market value. Right now, it's, Roy told me yesterday it was at $75, so we could be getting $35 a ton for cardboard from Sunoco, but that's a different deal than what we're talking about with this deal. I would still like you guys to consider staying on with Sunoco on the cardboard.
The other thing, good thing about Sunoco also is that we'd be getting paid less for the cardboard, but we do not have to haul it to Kobe. They'll pick it up here,
Right.
correct?
Plus they give us the balers.
Yeah.
Now, Roy told me yesterday, I didn't know they was that high, but he said their balers cost $20,000 each. So $30, if we do 100 tons, what did I say last time, $3,000 a year, we're paying them for balers.
I would say by the next meeting, we should have the trash truck in service, compacting it, and have some of these questions answered, because we know we're gonna start it by not doing it that way. And there's no contract, so if we decide to go a different route,
Are
we
you
can do
okay
that
with a county
anytime.
driver? Okay, so am I.
Okay, so
Should there
we're-
not be an agreement in place before you start making motions?
Well, I think that what needs to happen at this point is, the proposal is, can a county employee be used to help get the truck to wherever it needs to go to unload? That is the question right now. And do with the understanding that it will be county insurance that covers any incident if a county employee is driving that vehicle. Now, in regards to the I guess, compensation, things of that nature, I think, like if city driver is taking it, that's city. County driver is taking it, that's county. All it boils down to is whose insurance is going to cover any sort of incident when whomever is driving the vehicle, right?
That is correct. And by the insurance's account, they said you could just put it in the minutes and have it recorded.
That's what
However,
Kelly said.
oh, you did talk to Kelly
Yeah,
then?
I talked to Kelly.
He said that was sufficient, as long as it was documented and in there that was known, that it would be, the employer would be whoever is normally employing that person.
Okay, how would Bird City come into play with this?
Well, I assume with the same truck. I mean, we've always had their stuff. If we get to a situation where we're doing the other, and again, that's the next stage of things once we figure out the trash truck. But I would assume that we would have to either get their stuff over here or take the trash truck to there in order to do that. The issue is, I don't know if you want the trash truck sitting around half empty, sitting in Bird City. It needs
Right.
to be loaded, full, and moving, because I don't want to store it at the recycle centers very bad.
Yeah, 'cause
I think
they-
that's the wrong impression.
Because they could store enough, I would guess, to fill it,
Okay.
and then take the truck there
And
once.
again, we'll have those answers
Yeah.
pretty quick, because we'll take
Okay.
a mix of things that they're taking, minus glass and shredded paper, and we'll have, like I said, as long as the truck's ready, we'll have numbers for you, hopefully by the next meeting. We are refusing clothes now. We're going to shut down taking clothes because they're not going to in Colby anymore. That's the only thing we're not taking, I guess, right? That's the only change we've got as far as what we're going to actually take at the
Yeah.
recycle.
And we do, they don't need any more glass over there, but that's not an issue with us right now, I assume.
Yeah. So,
Does anybody else have any other questions on it? Do you guys have anything else right now?
Do we need to make a motion on that driver then?
I think it just has to be a discussion and that the commissioners are aware. It's not a motion, so to speak. It's just that, okay, here is the setup. And the commissioners understand that if there is any incident and a county driver is operating that vehicle, it will go under county insurance.
Okay, I guess we're all aware of that then. Okay, well, if there's nothing else, I guess.
Yeah, we'll call this experimental stage.
When you say county insurance, only for the driver, if something was happening to
Not
the
the
vehicle, it'd be under his.
Right.
Okay.
Right, because the city has the truck covered under their insurance. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
thank you.
Thanks. I guess that brings us to Dan.
Oh, let's put it up here. So, we had Randy Dako retired from the fire department. And we went over the applications we had the other night, and we'd like to put Kate Bracelet on. If you guys agree to that.
How many do you have now?
We usually keep 21 here, counting myself. And I think they got 19 in Bird right now. But the list is getting shorter. There's not a lot of people wanting to volunteer for that stuff anymore.